Hi there, welcome to the Black Oak Asset Management YouTube channel. Again, my name is Ryan Ledden, President of Black Oak Asset Management. I want to welcome everyone who is viewing us. We are here to provide education and clarity to sometimes very confusing topics in the world of financial planning, or just want to hear more. Maybe you understand certain topics, but maybe just want to hear more and gathering more information. So we're all about education here. Again, as a former teacher, as a former high school teacher, I think it's a big part of understanding and learning this stuff, because there can be some huge complexity to certain issues and topics when it comes to financial planning. And I get it, everybody's situation is a little bit different, but I like to shed some light on just things that I see in our daily practice here at our firm, and questions that people do have. So some common questions that people have, and just thought, and I make notes of those things, like, hey, I should share this, on our YouTube channel to at least, again, provide a framework or guidance for people. And maybe some of this stuff will hit home to you. So again, variety of different topics here. Obviously, this is more generalization. It's not specific advice, but you see the subject heading, real estate and retirement. So what does that look like? I'm going to focus on your primary house. Okay, so we're Dave Ramsey, Smart Investor Pro Advisor, so you can probably know which direction we're going to start with. So paying your house off in retirement or before retirement, I think, is a huge deal, because that's usually people's biggest overhead expense every single month. So it's not to say that you have to have your home paid off, but make that a goal to do so, because again, it frees up that monthly flow. Because when you get to retirement, it's about income. It's not about nest egg anymore. Yeah, you still want to have a nest egg, but it's about income and what's coming in every single month. So, and also what you have going out every single month. So if we know our budget, if we know our inflows and outflows, that's going to make retirement planning a whole lot easier. So if you don't have that usually that biggest nugget that you have to pay out every single month, it's not there anymore. Well, it provides peace of mind. It provides a little bit of flexibility on a monthly basis. So our thing is to try to have that house paid for. I get it. The huge argument right now is, hey, I got a 2.25% interest rate on my mortgage. Why in the world would I pay that off? I get it. I understand. That's math. I'm a math nerd. I get the math on that, because you can invest some of this money and get 5% on a money market mutual fund as we sit here today. So, and again, math isn't always the answer to these things. So a lot of times it's that peace of mind, just knowing that, hey, this thing is paid for. Now, we still have to account for our insurance. We still have to account for our property taxes. That's a real thing too. And as much as property taxes seem to be going up, it's even a better thing to have that mortgage paid off, because it's just less that you have to pay out every single month. That mortgage is paid off. So again, math isn't always the answer in my line of work. A lot of it has to do with the mental part of financial planning, the behavior finance of financial planning, which is a big, huge component of it now. So what's more, getting a better rate of return on some of that safe money, or peace of mind, knowing that the house, your largest asset, is probably paid for. So I know which way I fall. I would pay that thing off if I could, and as soon as I could. When people get to retirement, having that paid off every single month is huge. But also, some people want to downsize. Maybe you're close to paying off your mortgage, but the house is too big. Kids are gone. They're off the payroll. Too much to keep up with. Maybe the neighborhood's changed. Maybe it's busy. You just don't need to be in that area anymore, because the school districts really don't matter anymore, because you're not kind of paying into the system with your kids being there, but also your ad valorem taxes. So downsizing is a huge deal. Now, I get it. I've heard a lot of people say, gosh, we want to downsize, but with interest rates and housing prices, you can't really downsize a whole lot. And that may be true. It depends on what area you're at and moving to. But yes, interest rates definitely move the needle on that a good bit. But hopefully you can maybe sell your home and parlay those profits into paying off and just paying cash for your next home. Maybe your quote unquote forever home. I hear that a lot, your forever home. Usually doesn't happen, but at least it's your long-term home potentially. So downsizing is a real thing too. Some people even go to the extreme and just rent. They don't want to have that obligation of fixing everything, because home ownership is more expensive than renting. Now, it's an asset, so it builds up equity, but it is expensive. And when you're a renter, yes, you're going to have a payment every single month, but if things break and fall apart, then someone else has to fix it. So there are some people and clients that we work with that renting is a solution. Maybe it's a short-term thing. Maybe you just rent for a couple of years, kind of figure out where you want to be and just rent. There's nothing wrong with that either. So it may be just something that creates some flexibility and kind of movement around the country if you want to travel and you're just renting. Maybe you live in a fifth wheel. That's a possibility too for a period of time. But also last, at least on this one, is creating passive income or mailbox money. What does that look like? Maybe you already have a paid for house and you have cash saved up where you can buy another home in retirement, and then you have cash flow coming in from rent. Now that's awesome. You have what I call mailbox money coming in each month. I love doing, I like real estate. I think it's great. It's another asset class. It's another stream of income, but you're also going to be a landlord. Maybe you pay someone to do that. Maybe that eats into your profits. Do you want to be a long distance landlord and keep up with those things? Some people do, some people don't. Now there's other ways to invest in real estate that are more passive or hands off, if you will. But those are the main ones we really look at. Is one, try to pay your mortgage off, pay your house off. Where I do kind of shy away from paying off your mortgage is if it takes a large chunk of your net worth. What I mean by that is if you pay your house off, great. Well, you have a huge asset that's not liquid. So where's your income going to come from? So if you have assets that were creating income for you and all of a sudden you've evaporated most of those to pay your house off, well, that's great. You don't have a mortgage payment, but what if something happens and you don't have any cash on hand in your savings account or in your retirement accounts either? So I like to look at percentages of your net worth. What does the real estate take from your overall net worth? So there's ratios there we want to be careful with, that we don't use up too much of that liquid money. But try to pay it off, downsize if you need to, rent if you need to, long-term, short-term. And then do you want to create income from that real estate as well? So hopefully that sheds some light on, just kind of picking my brain and shed some light on your situation potentially. Glad to do it. If you want more specific input on what I think about as far as your situation goes, feel free to reach out to us, schedule some time on the phone, give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. But be good, and we'll talk soon.